Darn you birds, gotta poop on everything. This is awesome. This is the first real thunderstorm we've had come over us. Good thing I just brought the drone in. It was up in the air a second ago. There it comes. Oh yeah, this is gonna hit us hard. Wow. I don't know how much rain we got yet, but there's water on the ground and it looks good and I'm happy. It's been fun, we've been watching it. On the negative side, we were gonna go do the whole farm equipment tour. Problem is, the buildings we gotta drive to are on dirt roads and they're wet now and muddy.
Yeah, a little gooey.
So we're gonna hold off on that until hopefully it firms up a little bit, but I think we're gonna clean the shop now.
So that's the plan. We'll try to stick with a plan.
Yeah, we'll
How about that?
Something like that. So let's clean up the shop and then we'll go look at toys and equipment and stuff. All right, don't worry, we'll get there. This shop is so clean. That's all she wrote, folks. That system just moved over us. That's the kind of rain we get this time of year. It's not rain storms, like it's more or less a thunderstorm that comes over. That's why it's still crackling above me. And then it'll just rain whatever. But that one went right over the top of us. It was perfect. So I'm gonna walk over here. Let's see what the gauge says. Okay, here's the rain gauge. 0.4 of an inch. Yes, that is awesome. Today wasn't even supposed to be a rainy day. That's tomorrow and Friday, which means we could get another, I don't know, they're saying another 1/2 inch at least. We just barely got almost a 1/2 inch of rain right there. Praise the Lord. All right, first up, let's hit the trucks, semis.
Okay, we have a 1990 Peterbilt with a 3406B cat motor. We're figuring it's probably 400 to 4¼ horsepower set at. It's got an 18-speed transmission in. Does this pretty good. Thanks, Dusty Dyer. This right here is a 1992 Peterbilt. It's got a N14 Select Cummins in it. It's about 350 to 400 horsepower, somewhere in that range. It has a 9-speed transmission in it. Awesome truck. And this one right here, you guys know pretty well. It's a 1986 9370 International Harvester, one of the last years that they produced them before they got bought out. It has a big cam 3 and it's probably 300 horse to 400 horsepower in that range. It's got a 13 speed in it. You guys know all about this one. As you see, there's no trailer. It's pending. We'll figure it out. Right here we have a 2011 Maurer trailer. It's a steel trailer, 40-foot spring suspension, roll tarp, white paint, works pretty well. Right here we have a Leland trailer. I believe that's what it's called, not sure exactly, but it's like a 1983 to 1986 steel 40-foot trailer. We've had it for a while. Right here we have a 1994 Vulval White Gmc. It's got a Cummins N14 Select, but it is rated about 330 horse. 9-speed transmission.
On the drop deck, we've got two 2,000-gallon water tanks, both polymer. On the front, we have a 1250-gallon tank, so we have a total of 5,250 gallons of water capacity. We have the handler cone induction system, as well as room for shuttles and barrels and other chemical stuff.
Right here we have a 1983 GMC 6000, 350 in it, 4-speed transmission, 2-ton truck.
And on the back of this 6,000, we've got a 2,000-gallon galvanized water tank.
Right here we have a 20-foot 1984 Wilson trailer. Little pup. We use it once in a while.
Okay, my turn. I want to talk about it.
Nope. Not gonna happen. Right here we have a 1986 International 4300. It's got a big cam 3. It's definitely tuned up. Not sure the horsepower, but it's fun to drive. It's got a 13-speed in it, and as you can tell, it's a dump truck. And at one point, this was a semi with a sleeper. They converted it into a dump truck. This right here is a 1965 Allis-Chalmers 100. It's a non-turboed engine, which is a 10,000 series. We rebuilt the motor in it, got it for real cheap. It's got a little slop in it, but we use it a lot. You'll see more videos on it, trust me.
As far as vehicle trailers go, we've got a custom, I don't know if it was a camper, but 16-foot made gooseneck trailer. We've got a sled bed that Leg Arms built for snowmobiling that we hardly ever did. And then over here, we've got a Wheelway manufacturing 26-foot with beaver tail, 17,000 gross.
Right here is a 1972 Chevy Longhorn. Only 3,331 of these made. Right here is called the Camper Special. 6 inches on the frame and 6 inches on the box. The engine in this thing has been rebuilt, but it needs tuning and a few things, we just haven't gotten to it. Original miles on this thing, about 52,000. And this beauty right here is a 1961 Mercury Comet. 3 on the tree, shifting. 4-door, we'll keep it.
Keep a few of our augers here. We've got an 82-foot Harvest International 13-inch auger, and then back here we've got a Brandt 40-foot 8-inch auger, and then over here we've got 50-some foot 7-inch Westfield auger. We've got a 70-foot 13-inch Westfield augers. And this right here is a Mutant auger that we made, a transfer auger. It originally was a 70-some foot 10-inch auger, but we cut it down to like 40-some feet, and it's PTO driven. It needs a little bit of fine-tuning, but it moves wheat fast.
Right here we have a John Deere 2010 Backhoe. I think it's an industrial version Backhoe.
Got a little non-turbo 4-cylinder diesel engine in it. I think it's due for an overhaul. Needs a little bit of work done to it, but we've dug a lot of holes with this bad boy. It's not very powerful.
And as of right here, we have a 2-Tine rotary rock picker right way.
Not our truck, not gonna talk about it.
Right here is a 1955 U Special Minneapolis Moline.
That thing's picked a lot of rocks over the years. My dad knows that thing very well.
Right here is a 1968 Dodge 500. We put a 350 motor in this one, Chevy. Right here is a 1965 Dodge 500.
These two girls have hauled a lot of grain over the years for Welker Farms. It's amazing.
Right here is a 1984 Versatile 1150. It was going to get salvaged, so we bought it for the engine, put that engine into our big bud, and as of right now, we're not sure what we're going to do with this, but it is a beautiful tractor. Right here is a 1990 Chevy Kodiak. This right here is something I kind of convinced my brother and my dad to buy. I bought the truck for 1,800 bucks. Nothing on the back. It has a 427 gas in it. The Digger Derrick Alltech is the crane. I bought that for 1,800 bucks. I had to modify a few things, slapped it on the back, and now we got a pretty good service truck. You've seen it in the videos.
This right here, guys, obviously you know and have seen him. This is Big Brute. Big Brute started off as a 2001 Case IH 4375 floater truck. We bought it, totally rebuilt it. It's got a Big Bud hood from the 80s. It's an actual Big Bud hood taken off a Big Bud. Pretty awesome. The back is an S1070 New Holland 2009 100-foot, 1,600-gallon sprayer. Mounted that on the back of it. This thing's awesome. You guys see it all the time. I'm gonna go drive it. This 1994 Honda 300 4-Trax was Legarm's first ATV purchase. It ran a lot of miles on the farm. It almost killed me. It almost killed my brother-in-law. Now it sits here. Engine runs. That's about it. This here's a custom-made ice house. It's a tip-up. It's awesome. You guys are gonna see a video soon. We just haven't put it together yet. This guy right here we're saving for lawnmower races. Big plans for him. You just wait. This right here is our 2010 AS 1010 100-foot Apache sprayer. Had it for a number of years. Been a good sprayer. Does a good job. We'll keep running it. Honda Rancher 350, good four-wheeler. It'll run forever, 2005. Though if anybody's interested, we wouldn't mind having a side-by-side, so if you can deal us one of those, talk. That there is Quickie. We don't know the year, we don't know the manufacturer. We just know it's awesome to have in the shop.
And I got it from a Salvation Army. You have to realize all this stuff that we have, it's been accumulated throughout years. We've had 100 years underneath our belt of our farm. So it's not like we just went out and bought all this stuff. It's taken a long time to finally accumulate to what we have now.
And a lot of it isn't worth much. It's pretty old.
Right here on my left hand and my right hand are both Ford 9000 series trucks. We have a 1973 and a 1976. This one here's got a turbo Cummins. I think it's like a 290 Cummins or something, but it's been tuned up. It's got some power to it. This one here is a non-turbo Cummins. Both have 9 speeds, good tandem trucks. They're both 20-foot boxes. One's red and blue and one's green. Right here is a 1989 Dodge Power Wagon 250. It's got a 360. It gets used once in a while. And what we have on the back as a sprayer is a 60-foot Summers. Every once in a while we pull it out to do small work. Right here is a really neat old truck that's been in our family forever. It's a 1954 Dodge grain truck. It's got a Hemi in it too, so that's pretty sweet. One of the neat things about this truck before the fuel pump went out on it is no matter how old of gas it had, we put a battery in it, crank it just a little bit, and it would fire up and run. This thing has been Old Faithful until the fuel pump went out. Well, we don't have a use for it for small items, so it's just sitting here. But one day, maybe this thing will come back to life again.
So right here we've got a 2012 Brandt grain deck. This thing's awesome. We use it all the time with our semi-trailers. Back here we've got 2 Case IH Magnum design 45-foot draper headers. These haven't seen any use on the farm yet, but they're gonna this year. Can't wait. And they're both 2152s. Exciting stuff. This here's my dad's old 250 Kawasaki. It's a fun motorcycle. I used to drive it way back in the day. It needs an overhaul. We're gonna do it someday, get it running again, because this thing's pretty fun. Old International truck. I don't know the year on it, but it's an R110 series. No idea. Never seen it run. I don't even know if it was ours or if it was some land that we purchased. And what's that?
Dad used to spray in this pickup.
He did? In that thing?
The story is my dad used to spray in this. I'll have to confirm it. But when they first started spraying, they put a tank in the back, had some modified booms, and then You just put it in a gear and go.
Well, this here is our graveyard, and a lot of this stuff we just use for random parts. A lot of it's not worth anything, and some of it's gonna get scrapped someday when iron prices go up. So let's walk down the line and take a look. A couple trinkets in here that are awesome. Old John Deere swather. We've got some old rock pickers. Used that one back in the day. That's a really old ripper back there. Old bed off a Dodge truck. Here's some of our grave augers. We use flighting out of these things on and off, bearings, tubes. Here's an old drive-over grain deck that we built. We used it for a number of years. And then we bought that Brandt grain deck, and we haven't used this thing since. So, kind of a shame. This is an old Ford dump truck. I would love to turn this into a rat rod someday. It's pretty hacked up. It could be in better condition. So, as far as restoration goes, not gonna happen. But, if you kept it with this look and ran it, that'd be pretty cool. And this has got an old flathead in it. Here we've got an old Valemar Spreader. Used to use this for Fargo back in the day when we did wild oat spreading. We don't use it anymore. Not worth anything, so we just kept it here, like a lot of stuff.
Right here we have a 1955 Chevy 6400 V8. This truck used to be a grain truck, hauled a lot of bushels through its years, and then it got nominated as the dump truck.
And the water truck.
And the water truck. Right here we have a 1985 Dodge 1-ton pickup. Had a gas motor in it, put a 360 in it, automatic transmission. I put this together years ago for a quick service truck, and we don't use it anymore, so it's sitting here.
It does run. We had some thieves yank off the emblem off the front of this Chevy. Whoever you are, shame on you.
This pickup here I traded a car for because it was kind of a beater pickup, ran, but the mice ate the wiring harness in it, and it doesn't really run very good right now, so it's parked.
Here's an old International Harvester baler that we used to use when we used to have horses. A long time ago, we actually used to swath and bale some hay. Not a lot, but Tine mechanism wore out, and we got rid of our horses, and it wasn't worth anything, so it's here until it gets scrapped.
Right here is a 1973 Ford 3/4 ton. This used to be our spray pickup. If you saw that sprayer on the back of that old Dodge, that used to be mounted to this thing. This has got a 360 in it, manual transmission. Right here is an M&W grain dryer. Back in the day when you used to get wet crops, they'd send it through here with propane and dry it out, put it in a bin. Pretty expensive and slow process, we don't use it.
Here's a really torn down frame of a John Deere harvester of some kind. I don't know the model number on it. It was sitting out there, and when scrap thieves went rampant, we pulled it over here and dropped it off so they couldn't take it. Another ripper, they used to use these back in the day to pull under the sod. It would pull the rocks up out of the ground, and they could pick the rocks back in the day when there was a lot of rocks out there in these fields. Thank you, grandparents, for cleaning these fields up for us. And an old John Deere disc drill.
Okay, go for it.
Right here we've got two 7700 John Deere combines. What happened was this one right here was actually the first combine at Leg Arms that I learned to drive. It was a brand new 1978 7700 turbo. This was last year they made them. It was a really good combine, very high hours. What happened was Leg Arms decided it would be a great idea to cut around the power pole, and with the auger sticking out all the time, it clipped it, bent the auger. So one year when we were getting more acres and our combines were small, we decided to find a parts combine, this 7700 that we bought pretty cheap, rob the auger off it to rebuild the auger on that one. This 7700 did run. It was very thin, wore out in a lot of places. And we decided when our 4520 John Deere engine cratered to go ahead and pull the engine out of this because it had the better Bosch injection fuel pump and the engine was tuned higher. So we put that in our 4520. Unfortunately, that means this combine is now retired. This girl is a 1958 International TD18. It's been highly modified. I got the bright idea one day saying, hey, that's 100 horsepower. The engine that was in this is 100 horsepower. Let's put it in here. So we retrofitted the 404 non-turbo John Deere engine that ran and put it in here. Didn't work out very good. We need to put a different engine in this thing. Funny side note though, with the RPMs of this engine wrapping close to 2,400 RPM, and the old one only maxing out at like 1,500, this is probably the fastest bulldozer in the country. It might do as much as like 15 to 20 miles an hour. It's insane. We'll get it running someday for you guys. This here is an old Dune Buggy that Leg Arms built. It was originally a Volkswagen Bug with the post-cylinder, air-cooled Volkswagen engine. And the engine never really ran very good, so it eventually just got parked here. These two here are very heavily parted out case tractors. I don't know the years on them. I hardly even know the model number. They're not even ours. They're on a farm that my grandparents purchased years and years ago, and they sat along a fence line for the longest time. We brought them over here because scrap thieves, again, were running around stealing stuff, and we don't want these taken. They're neat old machines. I don't think they'll ever run, but they're cool to have. This GMC 6000 is sitting up here. We yanked the transmission out of this truck. It was a neighbor's truck that was sitting in our yard for years. We asked if we could have the transmission. They said yes. And again, we figured we'd just take it out of their yard and put it here because that way it's safer for scrap and for parts rather than having someone else steal it because the place is kind of out there. So it's resting safely up there. I put it up there. I've got a video on this project. Make sure you guys watch it. The link's right here. Click up. And I got a video yanking the engine out of the 7700 here. Click on the card above. Right there.
Right here is a 1955 Minneapolis Moline GB. Could use a little love.
It probably does run. It wasn't our tractor originally. It was, again, a piece of property, and it came with the property, and it got parked, and well, it never ran again. It needs a few updates, and it can probably run. And this here is an old WK-40 International tractor. This the family did actually use. I've never seen this thing run. It's been parked here my entire life. It has a custom cab on it. They poured concrete in the rear wheels to add weight. This is a really neat tractor. I would love to see this thing restored. We're probably going to put it in our yard so it's closer, but still a very neat machine. There are harvesters, old cars, derby cars, trucks. Might even be a tractor. Who knows? It's here. When scrap thieves were going rampant, when iron prices hit the roof, we freaked out because cars were getting stolen off our farm. We've had a couple of them taken. And we decided enough of that. We are not dealing with that. So we ran around with a trailer and a tractor, and Leg Arms and I, picked all these items from random scrap piles out on our farm that were going to be totally stoled if we wouldn't have done it. We pile it right here.
Right here's a Frigstad. This and that other one back there has covered many, many acres throughout the years. They're kind of retired now. Right here is a Right Way. It's an 8100 series. It's a 70-foot harrow.
This is a 38-foot Grouse heavy disc. This is our primary sweep plow. We use this to cultivate when we need to. We don't do it often because we're primary no-till, but every now and then we got to take this out. It's a 60-foot. It's an 80-20 on the back. It's got a 75 series coil packer on the back. Good combination. It's been a good plow. We've had good luck with it. Here's one of our air drills you guys see all the time. This is a 57-foot 9-inch spacing flex coil. The tool is a 2000 and the cart 4350 2004. And over here, this is a 2005 flex coil 57-foot 9-inch spacing tool and drill. It's a 3850 cart on it. You guys see that in the videos too. Typically the Series 1 pulls this, the Series 2 pulls that.
Right here we have the John Deere 844 1980. This thing used to have a John Deere V8 motor. It was ripped out. Well, we acquired this loader from a neighbor, and we put an 8.3 liter ISC Cummins at 300 horsepower. Did the engine swap? You guys have probably seen the video on this thing, but it's a beast.
This girl right here is our beloved 4520. It's a 1969 and it has the power shift in it, which I guess is kind of rare. It's been a good running tractor until the engine cratered. This is that engine out of that 7700 turbo, and it runs like a top. It needs a little bit of adjustment to it, but it's awesome. If you guys want to see the video of us putting the engine in this tractor, make sure you click on the card right up here. This tractor is mainly used to run this grain vac. It's the 5200 EX Brandt vac. It's a good vac. We've had good luck with it. I don't know, just good package, keeps running.
A while back, I was looking for a truck that had 4 doors because single cabs and 3 guys on the farm is not necessarily the most pleasant. Found this sucker. So this is a 1999/2002/2003/94. The engine itself is a Cummins 12 valve. It's tuned up 1994. Chassis is a 2003. Body's a 1999. Wiring dash is a 2002. This truck's a fun truck.
This truck is known on the farm as the Fummins.
This is a 1994 Dodge Cummins 3/4 ton, 12 valve. Good truck. It's a 1990 454 3/4 ton and manual transmission in it.
Those are pretty much our work trucks. They get us from A to B, but some of them need some work because they're work trucks. This piece of machinery gets used on the farm a lot. This is a 2003 270 John Deere skid steer. It's got the 2-speed in it. It's a nice skid steer. A little hard start in the winter though, we found, but other than that, it does a good job. This is a Case International 7140 Magnum tractor. We got a really good deal on it at the time. Came with a nice bucket on the front. It's like a 1989 or so. It's got good power. It does what we need to do.
This is a McCormick Farmall. My mom grew up in this tractor. We brought it back to the farm. It'd be neat to see this thing running someday, and I'm sure it will run. Just needs some TLC.
This thing's basically a combine without the header on it. Not self-propelled either. You gotta pull the tractor. These are just some old pieces that were either donated to us or from our homestead. It's like an old swather head right here. This one's an old cedar of some kind. It looks like all the discs are off of it. Got an old disc right here. This right here is one of my grandpa's first cars. Supposedly he took my grandma out on a date in it. I don't know if that's true or not, but it used to be at our homestead. Again, we brought it over here to keep it from the scrappers. Classic looking gangster. This is some unknown roadster. We have no idea what the make of this thing is. It's been highly modified with a custom back on it, and I don't know. Someone wanted to make it look like a roadster, but we thought it was cool, so we put it out front here. An old Moldboard Plow that was donated to us. We left it here on the farm in front because we think it's cool. Same with this one here too. Just neat pieces. They're classics. We like to have that stuff sitting out front because it just reminds us of the past.
Well, this is my Cannon. Put it together a couple years back. We shoot bowling balls. If you haven't seen the video, click up somewhere up here. Click up. Watch it. We don't know the year on this thing, but it's probably late 40s, early 40s. In the 40s, but it's a Chevy pickup.
This here you guys know as Mutant Mower. There's a video on that too. Make sure you click on the card above.
Let's just say it again. Right here, we believe it's the early 70s. We don't know exactly the year, but it used to be an HN 250. It's had a couple different engine swaps, a few other things. Now it's at the 435 horsepower with the N14 Select Cummins. Right here we have a Series 2 Big Bud. It's a 1978. It has 1150 Cummins in it. It's rated about 5.25 horsepower, about 50,000 pounds, just under. Pretty neat tractor.
And if you guys want to watch the videos, the restorations on these two girls, make sure you click on the cards above. They'll be back to back, so make sure you do that. Here's our new additions to the farm. These girls are new, and we're excited to run them this year. This is a 2013 8230 Case International. This is a 2012 8230 Case International, and we can't wait to run them. And make sure you click on the card above too, because there's videos of when we got these guys. It's a fun video, you should check it out. This is an unfinished leg arms project. Someday. This beauty here is a 1956 Chevy Baler 2-door, 3 on a tree. This was my mom's car growing up. It probably wouldn't take a whole lot to get it running, but we have plans for this car. It's just not gonna happen anytime soon. Finally guys, this is our beast on the farm. This is a 1979 Series 3 Big Bud 525/50. We picked it up in like 2008, ran it, but it needed a serious makeover. Runs great, just needed a makeover. If you guys haven't seen the series on it, there's a series that I've got. Click above to check out the playlist. But we're gonna finish this thing soon, and it'll become a 600/50 because it's tuned about 600 horsepower. It's a monster. There we go. Was that fun or what? Thanks for watching. This is the Welker Farms 2019 equipment tour. Maybe in a couple of years we'll do it again when we acquire some new things. You never know what that might be.
We got kids, we'll acquire new things.
Hope you enjoyed the video guys. Definitely like, subscribe. So take care guys. God bless. We'll see you next time.